Hello and welcome to another episode of the Weed and Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Rebel Professor Ryan Barton Lash, the eccentric enigma. And I'm with my co-host, Laniya.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome back again. We're getting ready to go over Friday Night Smackdown, March 21st of 2025 there in Bologna, Italy.
Really? I just love that they're in different countries continuously now. It just makes it so much more exotic.
Yeah. It's their first live show in Bologna, Italy in 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So we kick off the night with a good old Randy Orton.
They got dragged him out.
What's that?
They got dragged Randy Orton out.
Please drag Randy out when and whenever you can. It's Randy Orton. I'm mostly, you know why I'm mostly mad about John Cena? It reflects back to my conversation I got to have with Randy at WrestleMania, to where I was like, you need to beat Rick's title reign and stuff. Yeah, might come down the road. I don't know, man. I'm just having fun right now. And it's just like, yeah, but I'm mad because Cena's going to beat it first. And then how long is it going to be until Randy beats that?
You know, I mean, the hardest part is when we all realize that's predetermined. As hard as these guys work, you know, unless someone says this is so, they don't get that chance. And it's just hard to know that because you know they want it.
Yeah, and Randy deserves it, most of all, and he's got time, but Kevin Owens immediately enters the chat, and he talks about how Randy doesn't deserve what happened to him. Great, Kevin. So why the fuck did you do it? And I make note, Kevin is so full of shit. And Randy tells him to take that half-hearted apology and shove it up your ass. And tells about how he always bitches. And so I gave Randy a 10 and Kevin a 1.
Yep. Sounds about right. I mean, it was lackluster. It was throwing out names. Carmelo Hayes. Just I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens heel thing, like from the beginning, I was just like, what are they doing? Now I'm just like, stop this. Stop it. No. It's just.
Yeah.
It's becoming.
He's not good at being a heel. He's not good at wrestling in general.
Not good
at promos.
Not good at wrestling.
Yeah. I don't like Kevin, and I'm ready to stop talking about Kevin.
I wish he stopped on my screen. And it's like, I don't, obviously I don't know this man personally, but I personally know I don't want him on my screen anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
So.
Yep. Past that, we get a tag match here. Nice unexpected tag match of Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Drew McIntyre.
I who thought of that? But yes, more.
Yeah. Really good match. Damian runs out to attack Drew immediately, which I just love that. And then Jimmy Uso does the dive over the top, right following up. Punches and chops, get reversed, and then there's a dive into the body-to-body suplex there that happens. Anytime Drew does a body-to-body suplex, it's a piece of art.
He's such a big man. and like,
He's so big.
and the way he moves is like, it really is like art. It's like dancing. It's crazy.
Yeah, and just the way that he can just do a body to body suplex over the head, and not only toss the person over his head, but toss them across the ring.
Yep,
Like it's art. It is art.
it really
Like,
is. I'm a huge fan of Drew McIntyre
yeah,
because of his
um,
skill in the ring. You know.
yeah. Every time to me he was the MVP of 2024.
Oh yeah,
Um,
all the
yeah,
shenanigans and all. Yep.
yeah. Just everything he did in 2024 is great. Everything he's been doing this year so far has been just super great. Um, yeah, and then Shinsuke gets in, and Shinsuke um does like a pull out punch to punch, like to like where he pulls out of like the punch and then punches back on him, and then just does a knee to the side of the head, like like Shinsuke Nakamura moves in ways that just still like fascinate me.
Yeah.
Just every time I watch him. Because every time that man gets into a match, I have to watch because he's gonna do something that I'm just like, where did you come up with that? Like,
Yeah, I love how talented he is and like how versatile he is. Yeah, it's very exciting to watch him. I mean, I personally, I don't know. Let's get into this.
yeah, past that we gets he pins him up in the corner, knees to the gut strikes, tags in Drew for a foot to chop. That was really great. Um, and then he does this armbar head side slam thing. Um, and then suplex that Jimmy pulls off starts off Jimmy Uso chants.
I expect Jimmy
Which
Uso to come, like, I expect Jimmy Uso to come back and be, make a statement like he is, but he's doing it.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah, and then uh then he Samoan drops Shinsuke Nakamura and then gets a hot tag into Damien. Damien comes out, starts whooping. He does an old school big kick um to Nakamura, which I just love that Damien is just taking the old school premise and he's just seeming to throw something new into it every week that Taker never did. Like Taker just did he did the old school. That's why it's called old school, because he made it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
And he
different
just
for him
always did
though.
with the coming down on the arm. But Damien's done a Hurricane Rana now. He's done a crossbody now. He's doing big boots from the top now. Like, Damien's just awesome.
You know what?
Then
You know what? I was watching a show like recently, and when Damien did the Razor's Edge, right before he did it, he was like, "Hey, yo." Stuff like that he does really impressed me about him. Like he always like make sure he's pulling out an old school. You know,
yeah, he's paying homage to his favorite wrestler, who's one of my favorites ever too, Scott
everyone should love
Hall,
him.
Razor Ramon.
Everyone should love Scott Hall. Razor Ramon, the man we all thought was Cuban for years.
The fake Cuban from Baltimore, Scott Hall.
Yeah, I know. Like he was such a good talent, and it's sad that he never got his life together. But it's awesome that we have a wrestler that's as talented as Damian Priest, like constantly, giving a match to him. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and then there's a yeah then after the big kick there, there's a Kinshasa reversal into a clothesline that's really good, and then they get into a series of exchanges. Bam, south of heaven, finish on a Shinsuke, and then Drew runs in immediately on sight.
Well, obviously not because they lost, but
Yeah. It's just like the moment he got it, like, just cool. I'm gonna beat the hell out of him.
yeah, he let the match
Um,
in and they ran it.
yeah. Um, yeah, then they just beats him down, gives him that claymore on the ropes,
Yeah,
and, just, I've got this. I've got this, and just, it's crazy because it's like, I'm such a Drew fan that he's an enigma too, like Braun Breaker, to where it's just like I don't really consider him a good guy or a bad guy. I just consider him Drew McIntyre.
yeah. I've never felt like Drew McIntyre was on his side of a heel or babyface, except when we first came in, when he was really young. Obviously, he was a face, But
Yeah,
like his attitude is like, well, I'm on my own. I love it.
yeah,
He plays into it well.
yep. And then we get a quick little Braun Strowman LA Knight promo to where they're talking to each other, and LA Knight's like, "I'll be looking out for you," and he's like, "Look out for me all you want. I want that title shot." Um, and then we get the Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair interview. That was my only note to it, is that it was really fucking good.
It was good, but it was also unnecessary. And actually wrote really good, really unnecessary.
I feel it was kind of necessary to, you kind of end up seeing it too, to where Charlotte kind of goes off script a little bit, but Tiffany does a good job of staying on the script. I think it was needed to, one, help out Tiffany,
Yeah,
getting some promo chops, because after that brawl out that they had, the girl did a senton off the top of the goddamn entranceway, like,
yeah,
you know,
definitely great talent.
she can go. She can go.
Mhm.
She's
Absolutely.
done proved that. Like, she's the women's world champion for a reason. She's proved that. Now she needs to get her talking, her mic chops up and stuff. So I think it was a really fucking good interview. Then we get Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman there for
Love the
the.
big men mix up. I love when they do that. I love Braun Strowman. I want to see more of him.
You got two guys that I love very much here in a match, to where they are doing exactly what they need to do. And just big shove, big punch out, clashing and reversing at the start, like they were brawling like dogs.
They
You
definitely
know,
were.
um, I just have the note right after that of two beast fight.
But they definitely were, showing that big men, fighter thing that people love. That's what I see the big men do. Like two powerhouses clash. You want to see, fire and brimstone. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. You got your Godzilla and your King Kong there.
Definitely,
You know
definitely.
that's what they are right now. And get the big whip and crash into a corner. Strowman sets up for the Strowman Express, but gets derailed. um, Clothesline from the apron from Fatu was really good. Then get exchanges and then slam into the steps on the outside there. And then and then he does, "Get your ass up."
which was the best part. The best part.
For it just Jacob Fatu, he's the man that he just knows everything to say.
Yeah,
He knows everything to say. Like, you do not need to worry about his promo skills at all.
he's just
And
rocking with it.
it's funny too because on W2K24 I downloaded him, as a creative wrestler and stuff, and it popped up to the showcase, like manage your own like roster thing, to where you get promo skills, and it's a 1 out of 5 scale on the promo skills, and he had a 5 on there. And I hadn't, at that point when I got into him, he had just came on to the main roster, and all he was doing was "I love you, Solo."
Yeah,
That's all he was doing for weeks. And so I was just like, where's this promo of 5 skills like coming from on this? And then finally, once he started opening up, oh my god, I'm like, okay, yep, I get it. 5. He's
I think
5.
it's detaching from the bloodline aspect to really see, his character come out. Like all of them now.
Yeah. Yeah. Throw as many into the mix of the bloodline as you want to. That man is standing out. Yeah, then we get a good old running ass attack. Which what's his name? The one announcer on Raw, not Michael Cole, but the other one.
Corey?
Not Corey. Pat McAfee.
Oh my god, how did I forget that?
Yeah, Pat McAfee. He called it a running ass attack on yesterday's Raw, and I was like, finally, like somebody's acknowledging what I just wrote last week.
But watch out, you might be stealing your lines.
Yeah. Then there's a great comeback, and then a big clothesline from Strowman. Then Braun rips his shirt off and gets the Strowman Express big time over the table. And then a big forward power slam. And then Tama Tonga and Solo come in and interrupt. And then LA Knight runs out. And he's double fisting Samoans there, popping off left and right at both Solo and Tama. And then Braun Strowman wins by DQ. And so Jacob Fatu is mad pissed.
As he always is.
Yeah. And all in all, I gave that match a 6.5. I thought it was really good.
I actually gave it 7. I liked it a lot. There's a lot of energy. It was like nonstop energy. And I liked it.
Yeah. Anytime those two are gonna go at it, like, just keep it up. Keep it up. I will watch those two fight anytime. Any place, I'll watch it.
Definitely need more of that, high energy.
Yep, that is a feud, especially with those two at the ages that they're at and the points that they're at in their career. That's a feud and a rivalry that can last for a couple years here.
Definitely.
Yeah, which is great. It's great to have somebody that once it fizzles out, give it a little resting period, throw it back in. They'll make it work. They're both just really great. Then we get Liv and Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez promo. I just didn't make any notes of it. Just gave it a 5. Did what it needed to do, I guess.
Yeah, I put it down. I didn't score it. I don't care.
Yeah, didn't give a fuck. That's why I was just like 5. I guess they did what they needed to do. And then we get Piper Niven and Selena Vega. Oh boy,
I mean,
what a stinker!
I mean, it didn't go how I thought it would go.
I just feel like if I had the soundbite for this, oh man, this guy stinks. Would play it for this match. Um, it's first note I have on it. The size difference is noticeable.
I mean, I'm tiny, so I'm always like, you never know what could happen. I'm also psycho, but we're not gonna talk about that in public.
Yeah, the thing is with Selena Vega, she has her in-ring chops have only ever been good when she's able to work with other people that are actually good.
Yeah, and Piper.
Piper's good. She has a role. She has a role and a way of fighting that does not match up at all with Selena.
And
So I had it like at first. The first note was size difference is noticeable, and then the second note was seriously noticeable. And I remember it being this like Piper like went to like go pick her up for a power slam, and Zelina had to like actually like hop up to like to like get picked up, and then she slid off and then hopped back up onto it. And I'm just like, oh my god.
yeah, I didn't.
Like,
I can't lie. I didn't pay that close attention. Um,
and it was rather boring and just a one-sided match.
I mean, yeah, but that's the thing though. And it's like you have Tiffany Stratton and Naya. It's like she had to fight the big woman over and over to beat her. So I think they're trying to set up that type of dynamic, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really working for me because it doesn't seem authentic between those two. They're more like a comedy show, comedy routine.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's Piper. Piper, like I said, she's good. It's just when you match. She's different from Zelina. Piper, you can pretty much put in a ring with any of the other women. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a good match. But there's just such a noticeable size difference and style difference in between those two. It's not like Selena Vega's like a super high flyer
yeah,
that
exactly.
works with giants. Like, she's more of a technical kind of wrestler.
And Piper is not that at all. Piper is actually very sloppy, and I just don't know why they thought they could, but they did, and they were
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. Um, yeah. So I gave that match a 2.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna higher. I'm gonna give it 4.5 because they did display their skills pretty well. And Piper is coming out more and more as an independent wrestler, and I want to see it. I love to see it.
Fair enough. Yeah. Then we get Liv Morgan, with Raquel Rodriguez versus Jade Cargill, and first note, just pretty solid matchup.
Yeah, it actually was pretty nice. Well, with its issues, of course, but
Yeah, yeah. And my biggest note to it is really Jade finally proving she can work.
yes, yes, it's less show my abs and less that and more put it in work. I've been noticing that like the last couple of weeks with her, but they're definitely honestly pushing that to the forefront with her, which is necessary. She was never a bad wrestler. She just needed to get into the WWE style listing of wrestling,
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the reason I'm also saying proven that she can work. Apparently, Shayna Baszler had, along with a couple of the other girls, I'm assuming Zoe Stark too. Like, apparently they had problems with the push that Jade's getting, and the fact of that she isn't working a regular schedule like how they are. And it's like, well, she's just coming back from a legitimate injury. So,
And can we
yeah.
also talk about how nobody wants to see them, so it doesn't matter when they're working? Nobody's come,
Yeah.
nobody's
Yeah.
come to see you. Why are you guys complaining? Just go to do whatever the hell you're
Yeah.
doing. Nobody cares. But okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are no longer that pure fusion collective.
No, they're now. Nobody's coming to see you, Logan. That's who they are now.
Um yeah, that because the one Sonya Deville got released from WWE. So their little trio team there is no longer a thing.
And it wasn't good. The rest of them are going to get released too soon because, again, they're not getting work. They're not visible. Nobody cares about y'all. Who are y'all?
Mhm.
And the way
Yep.
WWE is firing people, bye. Don't talk about her unless you plan
Yep.
making that into, like, a whole thing that you're going to pitch to WWE creative team because nobody knows who you are.
Yeah. Nobody cares about Shayna Baszler. Sorry, girl, but nobody cares. Um then yeah, but outside of that, fucking Naomi comes out and, just as usual, just fucking Naomi.
I I'm so sick of Naomi. Like I want them to build her up as a character, but this shit they have her doing just just makes her look untalented partially, which she is not, and just bad. Like
Yeah. The whole storyline in itself is just pretty stupid.
yeah, I mean it's yes, very much so, but the way they're playing up too makes it worse. Like you would take anything and make it amazing. Someone needs to really show them how.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yep. But I gave the match a 6, despite the fucking Naomi finish. I thought it was an all around good match.
I gave it 5.
Yep.
Mm.
And then we get Drew McIntyre promo, which, did what it needed to do. Drew was just, talking his game. And then I made the note, Joe Tessitore sounds like a friend's dad watching wrestling for his first time.
He does though.
He really does. I just the way he just exclaims about certain things. I'm just like, am I watching fucking baseball? Like, I know you're just coming from ESPN, man, but tone down the sports commentator thing. Like,
He can't. He can't. I mean, I don't hate it though, but it's different. It's really different.
yeah, but he does. He just sounds like your friend's dad watching wrestling for his first time. But like, yeah, he's the kind of dad that would see you and your friend, watching wrestling, come and hang out on the couch, and he would have out his phone, Googling like everything that he's seeing and learning about the wrestlers and stuff. He's making that extra effort
Yeah,
to try and
yeah.
get into
I'm gonna
it.
figure
But
this out, and they'll awkwardly bring up something no one talks about anymore, like around your friend. Yeah, that
yeah, um, but
level of that energy.
yeah. Then we get Street Profits promo. You know, new music's good. They get You Deserve a Chance. Legado del Fantasma enters the chat. Pretty Deadly has entered the chat. Um, then it's Legado del Fantasma versus Street Profits, and gave that a 5. I didn't take many notes on it.
I mean, I wrote a lot of random stuff, like kind of good athletics, but he looked like he was gonna trip. I don't know what that means anymore. All in all, I gave it a 5 myself. And I know Street Profits defeated Los Garza, but yeah, I tapped out. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Then we get Pretty Deadly DIY Motor City Machine Guns promo of those 3 teams talking over each other, and it was dumb as shit. I
I'm
gave
about
it
to
a
say, no one
1.
asked for that promo. Nobody wanted that promo. Life would have been easier and better without that promo. Whoever, like suggested that promo made their underwear itch every time they put them on for no reason for all eternity. That's all.
Yeah, they've just kind of realized that it's like they only really have 5 tag teams on SmackDown, so they're going to make those 5 tag teams just work their fucking asses off
Forever.
forever. And it's not like like outside of the Street Profits, none of the like I love Pretty Deadly for what they are, and Pretty Deadly can be Pretty Deadly forever,
Yeah, I
and
like
they
Pretty
probably
Deadly.
will be.
They're the only one. The only one.
They probably will be Pretty Deadly forever.
Until they start
Um,
getting chunky. They know game of something insulting, as wrestling does.
yeah. Um, but outside of that, like Motor City Machine Guns, those dudes have been wrestling for like 20 something years. They're in their like mid 40s. Then the whole reason why they got the tag team titles in the first place so quickly is basically because like Triple H was fucking buddies with them, and was just like and basically told them, once I get in charge, I'll get you guys a job, because they have been over to TNA and Ring of Honor and everywhere else basically except for WWE over the last 20 years.
I mean, it's hard out there for indie
But they're
wrestlers.
no good at promos. They're no good at promos. Their music sucks.
Oh my god,
Um,
who did their music? Like, I think they did it on purpose because they had to have, like, and everyone else's music got tweaked a little bit, like, to make it better, and theirs, like, didn't.
yeah. Um, yeah. And they changed it too. Like
Yes,
the first music that they had was good.
it was alright, but it was never, like, amazing.
Yeah, it was good enough for what it needed to do.
Yeah, but
You know,
not
but this whole race fits, race fits. I hate that shit. Um,
trash.
but yeah, and DIY, they're gonna end up being DIY forever too. But and nobody cares. Nobody cares. No, the kids are not buying DIY merchandise.
I don't think the kids know what DIY is. I think they probably turn it off, like I tried to.
Yeah. Um, and then it finishes out with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins
Um,
promo. Roman does business. Seth freaking Rollins, enters the chat looking normal for him. As opposed to the way he dresses most of the time, like he was dressed pretty normal.
I'm telling you, he's been dressing more and more normal.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
Yeah. Um, but But yeah, all in all, I'd say it was an okay SmackDown. Had quite a few matches that were pretty decent.
That last match was 3, though. There's no sliding over that. It wasn't great. It was a clusterfuck. It was a 3. But everybody looked
Yeah.
cute.
Yep. But yeah, otherwise, that's our review of Friday Night Smackdown there from good old
March 24th.
Bologna, Italy.
Italy!
But yeah,
All right.
I guess that wraps it up. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Like and share. Smash that like.
Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah.